This is Steve Keys here with Keller Williams Capital District, and we are here with our next episode of Hey, How's the Market? This week we will be doing Saratoga County. This will be the monthly review for the month of September of Saratoga County. So let's go ahead and get started. So since this is the first episode that I'm going to do of a month, I am going to, and I should have done this last week with the weekly one, so I'll do it next week. But I will explain this chart and what all of these numbers mean so that in the future, when you're looking at it, you know what you're looking at. So starting with the chart here, on the left-hand side, we have all of the school districts that are located in Saratoga County. This next group section are all of the active properties. These are properties that were active at any point during this month. So BOM, that's beginning of the month. So these are properties that were still active at the end of August, carried over, plus new properties that came on the first day of the month. Total properties are all of the properties that were active at any point during September. So if it was just 2 days in the middle of September, it doesn't fall in the beginning. It's not going to get counted at beginning of month. It's not going to get counted at end of month. It gets counted in the total. And then end of month are properties that were still active September 30th at midnight. They were still active. This will include properties that are expiring on the last day of the month. They will not carry over into the beginning of the month for the following month, but they will be still in this month. Days is average days of market for those properties that were active in September. So for the total, so looking at Ballston Spa, we had 57 properties active total during the month of September. The average days on market of all of those 57 is 31 days. This next column here, this is expired or canceled. So basically, these are properties that were pulled off the market. They didn't sell. So the expired means that the contract ran out and the property automatically comes off the market. Canceled are properties that the agent or the seller, both of them, they agree, hey, we're just going to cancel the contract and we're going to pull the property off the market. This next group here, these are stats related to the pending properties. So total are all of the properties that newly went under contract during the month of September. Days, all of the days is average days on market for whatever that group is. So for this is pending. So this is the average days on market for those, and for Ballston Spa, these 31 properties that went under contract during that month. And average price is the average price of those properties. Now for pending, we don't know what the contract was. So if it was listed for $500,000, I don't know what the agreement actually was. Could have been $450,000, could have been $550,000. So this is the average list price for all of those properties. When they actually sell, that number would be different, but I won't know what it will be until they actually sold. This next column here is for the sold properties. Now, it's important to remember is that these are properties that sold during the month of September. These went under contract like 2 to 3 months ago. So sold numbers are behind the pending numbers. The pending numbers tells us what's happening right now in the market. So if we want to know what's happening right now, if I'm listing a new property, they want to know, hey, what's happening right now? So pending numbers are important for that. Sold numbers are important because they tell us what everyone else approved. Like just because the buyer and the seller agreed that, hey, this is what's going to do, doesn't mean that it's going to go through. The attorneys have to sign off it. It has to clear inspections. The bank has to sign off on it. It's got to clear title. It's got to do all of these things. So sold is important because it tells us what is actually being improved. Buyers and sellers may want to do something, but that doesn't mean that it's a good idea. And that doesn't mean that's going to get approved. So that's why sold numbers are important, because it tells us what is actually real about the market. Pending numbers, it tells us what's happening right now, but they could be fake. Buyers want to, it's not their money. Hey, they want to spend all the money in the world. That doesn't mean the bank's going to go for it. All right, so sold properties. So these are the total number of properties that sold, they closed during the month of September, how many days on average they were on the market before they went under contract, and then the average price that those properties sold for. So this number is real because we know what they sold for. It's not the average list price, it's the average, nope, this is what was actually paid. This column here, sold to list ratio, this is what the property sold for versus what it was listed for. So for Ballston Spa, we have about 104%. So that tells me that properties are selling for more on average than what they are listing for. These properties here that sold, the ratio is based on the sold properties. These next columns here, these are just the price ranges. So the A, P, and the X, that is active, pending, sold. So this is the number of active, pending, or sold properties that fell in this price range. So these numbers, all that we have over here, this is the breakdown for where those properties fell. And this last column here, this is basically the percentage that a home had to actually go under contract in that category. So if you listed a home in Ballston Spa, if you had a property that was listed at all in Ballston Spa, you had a 54% chance of getting it under contract during the month of September. That is what that number means. And this very bottom row down here is the same thing, it's just for vertical. So it's saying that if you had a home that was under $200,000 for this first column, you had a 46% chance of getting that under contract. The colors that I have here, blue, ignore that. That's for me. That's for when I send these out in an email. I hide those columns to save space. Green and yellow, it just means that green was the highest in that category and yellow was second highest in that category. So these numbers highlighted individually, these here are based on contract properties that went under contract. So you can see down here that the $350,000 to under $500,000 had 72 properties. That's the most of any of the price ranges. And then second place came to the 200 to under 350. So that's what the colors mean. Down here we have the date range. This is just legal stuff that I have here. These are single family homes only, no new construction. New construction, it gets listed funny in the MLS and it screws up the numbers. They can use one listing to sell 37 homes. And it looks like that home has been on the market for 500 days when really they've used that one listing to sell 37 homes. So that's why I don't use it, because it throws off the numbers. The source that I got it from, which is just our MLS, and then the date that I actually pulled it from. And then this is a little thing that I like to put on that. It's just the highest sale in the county that had happened. So this one, some of you may have seen it. The Palazzo Riggi sold in Saratoga for about $7 million, and then it's just got some stats. Those on the Palazzo Riggi. All right, so now let's get into the actual meat and potatoes of Saratoga County. So I'm just going to, so for these I just do the highlights. So it's mostly the things that have changed from week to week, or in this case from month to month. So first thing, inventory. Inventory is up. I have numbers going back to February. Some of these categories I've only been tracking since March, but the important ones have been going back to February. We're at about 200 more than we were since February. So inventory is going up. Next point is these expired and canceled. We have 31 properties that were expired or canceled this month. Excuse me, that is the highest that it has been ever since I've been tracking it. I haven't ever had a higher number. So that's going up. That tells me that there's a mismatch in expectations between what the market actually is and what agents or sellers think that it's going to be. And that is why properties are expiring or being canceled. I'll just point this out because we'll talk about it later. The number of pending, we had 250 pending properties in the month of September. This is relatively stable. It hasn't really changed. It has dipped a little bit, like a little bit, since August. Percentage-wise, it's like 0.5% or something. It's small. It might be like 5%. No, it's not 5%. Yeah, it'd be like 2%. It's small. A little bit, but it's remained relatively stable. The average price that these pending properties have gone for, though, has gone up. This, again, also has been the highest that it has been since I've been tracking these numbers. This number is trending slightly upward, because I don't know how it's going to look on your camera. I'll figure it out when I edit it. So this number is trending slightly upward. I think it was Warren Buffett who said that the American economy always trends upward and to the right. So if these numbers are slowly trending upward, that is what I would kind of call stable, because stable is slightly increasing for just the American economy in general. So They seem to be slowly increasing. I would call that stable. And the last number that I want to talk about here, this number here, this is the chance that you had to sell your home in Saratoga County, which right now stands at about 42%. This is the lowest that it has been since I've been tracking these numbers. Now, it got pretty high over the summer. It was lower February, March, April timeframe. It is lower than it was then. But if you think about it, our pending properties have stayed pretty level, while our inventory is going up a little bit. Now, our prices are staying stable. The number of pending properties that we have stable, that's basically our market. Our market is stable. But because inventory is increasing, that's theoretically there's more competition out there. So the chance of you selling your home is theoretically going down. But any of the numbers that would really tell us that the market is going down, we're not seeing any of those things. So bottom line, quick recap, inventory is going up, expireds are going up, which is a little bit of an unrealistic expectations for where the market actually is. People think it's not quite, it's pretty good the way it is, but people still think it's a little bit higher. Average pending prices stable, slightly increasing, which I consider stable, and more competition out there right now. Inventory, we saw it in Albany County, now we're seeing it in Saratoga County. Competition is going up, so chances of you selling are still going down, but the numbers are still good. Still a solid market, seller's market for listing your home. All right, so that concludes that. So if I did not do your county, you can go to my YouTube channel, and I am going to do videos of all of the counties. So I'll only pick one to do for Instagram, but on my YouTube channel, I will do videos for all 6 counties for the week or for the month, whatever it is. If you would like to receive this report in your email, there is a bit.ly link, which doesn't look like it's an actual link, so you got to copy and paste it. I don't know if I could change that. But there is a bit.ly link down in the comments that'll bring you to a form that you can fill out that'll give me all the information that I need to put you on one of these email subscriptions for which county you want. So if you'd like to do that, you can do that. So that has been this week's installment of Hey, how's the market? Oh, that was wonderful timing with the whole video. Jeez. Bye-bye for now.